So starting off the brows, I'm going to comb through the hairs with the NYX Brow Gel in Espresso. This just helps the hair stand up and give them a little bit more shape and define the brows. Then taking a mix of the Olivia Bell Beauty Medium Brow Pomade and Inglot's Jawline, I'm just going to mix it up really well and kind of more watery, like you want the consistency to be see-through, and that's going to give you a kind of see-through base for your brows, so when you do draw the hairs on, they stand out against the base. Does that make sense? So yeah, I use that to underline the bottom of the brow, and then taking the brow pomade on its own, I'm going to start mimicking the hair strokes and drawing on hairs like so. That's an Inglot 31T brush, and I'm just using the very tip of the brush to help me achieve this. So at this point I'm happy with the amount of hairs I've drawn on with the gel. So I'm taking Helene Stage Eyeshadow Primer on a Glamour Co 252 brush, which is very similar to the MAC 252. Any brush of that shape where it's kind of like a C shape on the top is going to really help you for carving out your brows, because it already has that shape, so the work is kind of done for you. You don't have to keep, if you use a flat brush, like a brush with a blunt top, it'd be so hard. So yeah, I'm just taking that eyeshadow primer right down the lid, and I'm going to pat it in with the brush just to make it set a little bit more. So then taking just an old eyeshadow brush, like a fluffy brush, I'm using that to blend out the edges, and then I'm just going over the lid again with that eyeshadow primer to make sure it's completely covered and there's no veins coming through or no redness. And then again taking that fluffy brush just to make sure there's no harsh edges, because if you leave harsh edges they will set like a mask, and later on when you try blend them out they will not blend no matter how hard you try. Just cleaning up the top of the brow with that primer again, and then I will comb through the hairs with the NYX Brow Gel just in case any excess products got into the brows. So Inglot 453 on a bullet brush on the brow bone and inner corner highlight, and then taking the same fluffy brush that we used on the lid earlier to buff out the edges of the inner corner and brow highlight, just so it's not as stark white and not as intense and it looks more part of the skin. Taking Inglot's 50 or 51, it's either one of those, the burnt orange colour, on a blank canvas E26. I'm just going to pat the first colour onto the lid, and I'm not rubbing, I'm literally just going to press it on because we didn't set the base, so this is going to act as your first transitional shade and set the base. So this next part is where my heart breaks a little bit. The phone was not in focus, so we can't really see what's going on, but basically I just took a pink shadow from a Lick and Lash beauty palette, and I'm patting the colour on to build it up and then slowly buffing out the edges in circular motions. You can rub the second colour on, but I wouldn't recommend doing circular motions with your first colour. And then as usual, blending out your colour with your previous colour. So blending out the pink with the orange, and then the orange with nothing because there was no colour before the orange. So I'm just constantly building up that colour again and blending out the edges. So the next shade is from a Lick and Lash beauty palette again. I'm taking this on a Glamour Co brush, a flat dense brush just to build up the colour a lot better. So again, don't take this past the crease line and just start building up the colour, because when you do cut that crease with concealer you will want it to be really noticeable and want to see every single colour that you blended out beforehand, otherwise what is the point? So I'm just building up that colour in the crease in the shape where her eye is, and yeah. This is so hard, I keep stuttering and I'm just not used to this. So this is where the camera comes back into focus, and then I'm going to start buffing out the edges of the purple then with the pink that we used beforehand. I'm going to just blend out the pink with the orange. So blend out the purple with the pink and the pink with the orange, and then blending out the orange with just a clean brush. So here we're cutting the crease, Glamour Co 252 again, and the Helene Stage Primer. When you're cutting a crease, you always want your client to look straight ahead first, so you can see how high you can take the crease, and then get them to close and just follow that shape the whole way around. Would you look, she's dying sick. Anyway, so I switch over to a blank canvas E27 brush. This is a small detailer brush, and this is just going to help fix any little mistakes that you made with the bigger 252 brush. Now I'm used to using the 252, so usually I'm kind of okay with it, but just because I knew I was recording, obviously I wanted it to be as sharp as possible. So then picking up my favourite body sparkle ever, Inglot 54. It's like a rosy gold kind of colour, but it just goes with absolutely everything, and I'm using the same brush again to apply that. Because the base we used was an eyeshadow primer and we cut the crease with an eyeshadow primer, there's no need to apply any glue to stick down the glitter because it will stick because it is a primer. So I'm just patting that on and then dusting away any excess glitter with a fan brush. Then just taking the first three colours that we used on top of the lid, the orange, the pink and the purple, we're going to take them starting from halfway across the lid towards the outer corner. So once you're happy with your blend across and up, you're going to take the same blank canvas E27 brush and just redefine the inner corner. Next I'm taking some Inglot 77 gel liner on an Inglot 31T brush. This is an angled brush, so it's a lot easier for the eyeliner, especially getting into the inner corner. Always remember to take your time when you're doing the eyeliner, because you can always add but you can never take away. Once you're happy with the thickness of it, you're going to take an Inglot 10S brush and slowly just buff out the edge of the liner with some gel liner. Then just taking the same base that we used on top of the lid underneath, the Helene Stage eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to buff this in really well right underneath the lashes and to the edge of the brow to connect the two sides together. So I'm just taking the same colours that we used on top underneath, the orange, the pink and the purple. Always in between the blending stages I'm going to use the previous colour to blend out. So always blending out the orange with a clean brush, blending out the pink with the orange and the purple with the pink. Just took some Duraline then on a cotton bud to help clean up the line and give myself a sharp little wing. And then I'm going to take some Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 10 on the Glamour Co 252 brush to sharpen up that line again. Take your time doing this because it can be so easy to get this wrong. I've done it a million times. And yeah, I'm just going to blend out the edges of that then. Then going in with some NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, just into the waterline. So next up is the Barry M Liquid Chrome Drops. I literally love these. I used to use the Cover FX ones that I got in America, and I swear to God these are the exact same, I think even better. So I'm just taking some of them across the whole face on a Glamour Co brush, and then using a cotton bud just to pick up any little bits of shadow that may have fallen down, because once we start blending into foundation and the concealer it will go so mucky and we don't want that. So then I mix some Inglot 83 HD foundation into some Maybelline 110 Fit Me foundation and give it a really good mix. And then I'm putting this on with a Glamour Co 127 brush. Up around the hairline, the nose and the brows I kind of use a smaller little brush. That's just an old eyeshadow brush that I can't use for eyeshadow anymore because it's too like buffed out. So that comes in perfect for concealer and blending out edges and everything like that. So then I just use the side of the 127 to pat the foundation in and make sure it's set into the skin. Then taking that Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 10 underneath the eyes, the bridge of the nose, the forehead and the chin and above the lip, just to brighten up the centre of the face. And again, I'm just blending that concealer in with a Glam & Co 127 brush. And then for the concealer around the eyebrows and around the nose, I will use a smaller concealer brush. It just helps a lot, and there's no point spending so much time on the brows only to use the big brush, you know. So smaller brush for around the smaller areas and the big brush for the rest of the face. A lot of people worry about bringing the concealer up too high, that will take away the first transitional colour underneath. I always do that anyway because I like my concealer to be right up. So even though I dust it off, people are like, well, why'd you put it on then if you're going to wipe it off? I don't know what it is, I've always done it. So I kind of go over the first colour, and then after the powders are on, I'll put the colours back, like reintroduce them. Just sharpened up the edge of the wing. And then here I'm using Inglot 403 HD powder everywhere that I put the concealer. This is a brightening powder, and it has like particles, like lightning particles in it. So it gives a bit of a glow as well. So I literally cannot do a makeover without this powder. The next thing I use is Inglot 405 HD powder for everywhere in the face. I'm just going to set everything else into place so, you know, your makeup does not budge. And then once the foundation is set, as I said, I will reintroduce the bottom colours. So I'll put the pink on. That's a little Glam & Co detail brush. I literally cannot do makeovers without that little brush. And then the orange shade again. Bring it kind of low enough so when she does look straight ahead, you can see all the colours. Then I'm taking Inglot 64 and 21 pressed powders as my bronzers. And I'm literally just going to put them in line with the top of the ear and up the side of the temples, just to give the skin some warmth and some dimension. Whatever's left on the brush underneath the jawline and underneath the line that you just contoured, so it's not just a stark black and white kind of line, it's all blended and soft. Then taking some 303 Inglot eyeshadow. I use an eyeshadow as a blush, it's kind of like a pinky toned. I'm going to put that on the apples of the cheeks and dust that away with the bronzer. You can use any setting spray for this next part. It's just going to help intensify the highlight. That was an Inglot setting spray, and I'm literally just using the Doll Light Beauty highlighter in the shade Shine Bright, and I'm taking that all over the face. As you can see, I know a lot of people don't really like to look like the Tin Man, but you know me, if you come to me, I guarantee you'll be walking out of the house looking like the Tin Man. So then just combing through the brows with the NYX brow gel, just in case any powder got into the brows. So lastly, for lips, I'm taking Inglot's 854 lip liner. This is like a mauvey kind of browny, warmy, pinky colour. It's my favourite lip liner. And then I'm going to blend that out with Inglot's 404 nude lipstick. It's a matte lipstick. And then just putting Peaches and Cream Bambi lip gloss on top of that then. This is literally the nicest lip gloss like in the world. One of them. I'm literally addicted to it. So that is it for this tutorial. I wasn't really going to post it. I wasn't happy with the fact that her eye kind of leaked a little bit and then there was a patch, but sure, look, things like this happen. Other than that, I'm happy with how everything turned out. Let me know if you like these type of videos and if you want me to do more of this. If so, what type of look you want me to do. This was just my kind of go-to colours and my favourite glitters and how I do everything usually. So yeah, thanks so much for watching.